When forensic health professionals evaluate cases of stalking, they focus on four key aspects: the nature of the stalker-victim relationship, the stalker's motivations, the psychological, psychopathological, and social characteristics of the stalker, and the victim's psychological and social vulnerabilities. This episode centers around 25-year-old Stephen McDaniel. To fully understand these components, we must re-examine details with the benefit of hindsight. Advances in technology over the last 2 decades have transformed forensic investigations, enabling them to gather critical information that once required weeks or even months to obtain. Notably, 2 of the aforementioned components can now be analyzed through a single source: the Internet, specifically the suspect's search history. Internet browsing data has become a vital tool in building forensic cases, often revealing hidden facets of a suspect's psyche in ways that even confessions may not. In Stephen McDaniel's case, a large portion of his time online was spent consuming violent and torture-themed pornography. He frequently conducted searches on topics related to sexual assault, even typing variations of phrases such as "how to molest a sleeping girl." From a forensic perspective, this online behavior demonstrates a significant desensitization to sexual boundaries, possibly due to excessive exposure to violent content, leading to a tolerance of traditional sexual themes and a need for more extreme stimuli. For McDaniel, this escalation began with disturbing content on the Internet and progressed into real-life planning and execution. His target was 24-year-old Lauren Giddings, his next-door neighbor of 3 years. This brings us to the final item on the forensic checklist: social vulnerabilities. Lauren, however, displayed few, if any. She was an outgoing, well-liked member of her community with a solid social support network. Yet in terms of psychological vulnerabilities, a concept known as perceptual naivety may have been relevant. After a brief acquaintance, Stephen asked Lauren out, a gesture she politely declined, suggesting they remain friends. To her actual friends, though, she confided that Stephen made her feel uncomfortable and uneasy. While it may have seemed an insignificant detail at the time, hindsight suggests that her instincts were alerting her to danger. She often felt someone had been in her apartment and sensed something off when returning alone at night. On multiple occasions, she considered moving but ultimately didn't follow through. Unbeknownst to her, McDaniel had stolen a master key from a security guard and entered her apartment multiple times, even recording her as she came and went. Had she trusted her instincts fully or known of anyone else in such a situation, she might have taken steps to protect herself. But trust is crucial. Without concrete proof, Lauren's conviction wasn't strong enough to avert a tragic outcome when it mattered most. One night, Stephen McDaniel broke into Lauren's apartment once again, but this time she was asleep inside. As he crept into her bedroom, Lauren woke and immediately panicked upon seeing him. McDaniel then lunged at her, restraining her and strangling her for about 15 minutes. Lauren fought bravely, scratching his face and chest, but despite her efforts, she was ultimately overpowered and died from asphyxiation. Following the murder, McDaniel dismembered her body in the bathtub using a hacksaw, dividing it into 5 parts. He placed each part in a trash bag and disposed of them in separate trash cans around the campus. 3 days later, Lauren's friends, concerned about her absence, let themselves into her apartment using a spare key. Seeing them from his window, McDaniel joined them, offering his help. They found all her belongings inside, including her phone, driver's license, and passport, yet there was no sign of Lauren. That night, a missing persons report was filed. The next morning, a search began, and at 9:40 a.m., police discovered Lauren's torso in a trash can near the apartment complex. The rest of her remains were never recovered. With this grim discovery, the investigation shifted from a missing person to a murder case. Police canvassed the area, conducting interviews with neighbors and classmates, including Stephen McDaniel himself. Before speaking to investigators, McDaniel was interviewed by the local news, unaware that a part of Lauren's remains had already been found.
We're just trying to find out where she is at this point. I mean, no one has seen her since Saturday. I mean, the last time anyone heard from her was an email that she sent out, and no one's heard from her since.
What kind of person was she? I mean, what did you see?
I mean, she's as nice as can be. I mean, very personable, very much a people person.
Do you know anybody any enemies she might have had, somebody that might want to hurt her?
No, we just don't know where she is.
What about in the parking lot area? I know they've been doing a lot of, I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body?
Had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there? I mean, we don't know if this is the same person. You know what I mean? Like, they took out a body there earlier. We don't know if it's the same person or not. So that's how we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I think I need to sit down.
Okay.
This is likely a genuine reaction masked as something else. He is probably feeling a surge of fear and shock, realizing that a crucial piece of evidence has been uncovered. Yet he pretends to be grieving the loss of his so-called friend.
I don't know anyone that would want to hurt her. She was as nice a person as there is.
Was she moving soon? Did you know anything about her?
Yeah. She was going to be moving out today. Why would anyone do this? Maybe I could have helped.
I mean, they went in, we looked around the place, no sign of a struggle, no sign that anyone had broken in, just nothing.
Police interviewed Stephen at 11:50 a.m., during which he offered to assist in any way he could, though he appeared fidgety and uneasy throughout. 2 moments from the interview stood out. First, Stephen claimed he was a virgin, saving himself for marriage. Second, the detective noticed scratch marks on his face and stomach, which Stephen explained as self-inflicted during sleep. Unbeknownst to him, he had just become the prime suspect. When asked if police could search his apartment, Stephen hesitantly agreed and was escorted back to the complex with 4 investigators. Inside his apartment, detectives found an unusual collection of swords, guns, toilet paper, and other stockpiled supplies, as if he were preparing for an apocalyptic event. They also discovered a mask made from women's underwear. Most notably, they found a pack of condoms, which prompted them to question why he would have them if he was supposedly waiting until marriage. At this, Stephen admitted to stealing the condoms from another apartment. This confession provided detectives with probable cause, leading to his arrest. Stephen was handcuffed and brought back to the police station, where his interrogation began just after 11 p.m.
All right, brother. All right. I just got to ask you a few more questions.
Okay.
You came down earlier tonight, me and you talked, all right. You don't have any weapons on you, do you?
No.
That's just you are. What's wrong? You know I'm Detective Patterson, right?
Yes.
Do you remember, put your hands up here, you remember us talking earlier tonight, right?
Yes.
You remember me earlier in the day?
Yes.
When we came down here and talked a little bit and then we left?
Yes.
The monotone dialogue and lifeless demeanor displayed here reportedly began during the drive back to the police station and continued throughout the entire interrogation process. The suspect's behavior is not only puzzling but, in a way, almost remarkable. This footage stands as one of the most extraordinary examples of an interrogation ever released to the public.
I need to know about this girl right here. You know her?
Yes.
Who is that?
Lauren Giddings.
Does she live next door to you?
Yes.
When's the last time you seen her?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Was you friends with Lauren?
Yes.
Look at me when you talk to me, son.
The suspect has transformed himself into an unsettling, almost surreal character. Whether this is a deliberate tactic or a sign of a mental breakdown is unclear, but it's remarkable how this behavior seems to set the pace of the interrogation. The detective moves in closer, commanding eye contact, a recognized technique to increase psychological pressure. Yet, the way the suspect slowly turns his head and locks eyes in a disturbingly intense manner ultimately forces the detective to look away and adjust his posture. This reversal is virtually unheard of in interrogations, as it can give the suspect a powerful boost in confidence.
Let me talk to me, son, okay? Was you friends with her?
Yes.
Close friends?
We were good.
I mean, y'all were friends, right? Both of
Yes.
y'all are law students. You're studying to be an attorney, right?
Yes.
What kind of law do you want to go into? Criminal law?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do for a living?
Yes.
Okay.
The detective eases off from his initially aggressive approach, asking trivial questions for about 35 seconds before attempting to reapply pressure in a more subtle way.
And you've lived next to Lauren for a long time?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where she's at tonight?
No. No.
Have you ever seen her with that dress on?
No.
You have no idea where she's at?
No.
Yes. Look, just tell me what happened, brother.
I don't know.
Well, where's she at? I'm asking you for your help. I'm a detective, and I'm asking you for your help. Can you help me?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You can't help a friend out?
I don't know what you need.
I need to know where Lauren's at.
I don't know.
Do you even care that no one can find her?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, do you?
Yes.
What's up with the pair of underwear that was in your apartment? That
I
was
don't
like
know.
a mask. It was cut out like a mask. You cut underwear out to look like a mask?
No.
Are you a knife collector or a knife person, or
No.
you just like knives?
I used to collect swords.
I mean, do you know your swords?
Yes.
I mean, to sell and trade swords?
No.
Is that how Lauren looked with the long hair the last time you seen her?
Yes.
Or that's how she looks?
Yes.
I mean, earlier today, me and you sit here and talk normal. What's going on with you now? Why are you acting like this? I need to know. Why all of a sudden you're acting like this?
I don't understand.
Okay. Earlier today, we sat here and talked. But now you're acting like you don't know what's going on. I mean, did something happen or something to you? I mean, why are you shutting down? Why are you not talking to me?
I don't know.
You don't know? Are you scared?
No.
I mean, you're not scared, are you?
No.
For the first 20 minutes, Stephen's demeanor remains unchanged, prompting the detective to shift to a more overtly aggressive approach. He begins attacking Stephen's character, hoping this might provoke him to drop the act and defend his dignity.
Got your ass on that fucking news and stood out there and gave a media report that her mother saw about her missing daughter. And you want me to sit there and tell him that you don't know? Is that what you want me to tell him? Because you're all over the news. You sure stood out there and ran your mouth to the news media. But now you're going to get out here and you don't fucking know. You know. You're just a sorry piece of shit that don't give a fuck. Right?
No.
Well, why'd you tell the media everything? Do you need to see what you told the media today? It was on the 11 o'clock news. Well, I'm asking you. Tell me. I want to know.
I don't know where she is.
That ain't what you told the media. You didn't stand in front of that camera and say, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I need you to tell me what you want me to tell her mother. And then I won't ask you another thing. I'm not going to tell her mother that you don't know, because her mother saw you on the news tonight. And she cried all the way down to Macon. Because you had the balls to get on the news and tell everybody everything. So this little act that you're doing right now ain't working with me. Okay? So you need to snap out of it and tell me what the hell happened so we can move on.
I don't know.
Well, how many times you gonna say I don't know? How many times you gonna say it? If you did something that you regret, you need to let me know.
I didn't.
Well, who did?
I don't know.
Planned or not, the second detective enters with a similarly aggressive approach, abandoning any attempt at rapport building. It appears that establishing a connection has been collectively set aside.
What's up, buddy? Did you talk to him about his guns?
Yeah.
When was the last time you shot those guns?
I haven't.
You've never shot a gun?
No.
Have you ever shot any gun in your whole life?
No.
Never.
No.
So you bought 3 guns that you've never shot?
Yes.
Why?
To have.
For what?
To have.
For what? I'm asking for what? Why do you want to have them? What makes, did they give you, tell me why it's important to you to have 3 guns. That's an easy question. Come on, talk to me, buddy. Me and you talked all day today. We ain't had a problem communicating. Why is it important for you to have 3 guns? Do you not know?
No.
You say you don't know where Lauren is, right?
Right.
You told me earlier you and Lauren were friends, right?
Yes.
How would you describe y'all's relationship?
She was my friend.
She was your friend. What, did you ever do things for her? Did she ever do things for you? What did she ever do for you?
We talked.
We talked, what did y'all talk about?
News.
The news? Okay. How many times have you been in her apartment with her hanging out?
I don't know.
You don't know? If you had to guess, what was your, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, what?
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2? See, if I had only been somewhere twice, I could remember that. If I had been there over 50 times and you asked me how many times I've been, like, I don't know, a lot. But the fact that you've only been there twice, when I say how many times you've been there, you say you don't know, that's just odd to me. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
That does make sense? So what I'm saying right now makes sense?
No.
Lauren's missing. This pretty little girl right here, your neighbor, she's missing.
Much like the first detective, Detective 2 now boldly steps up the psychological pressure, closing the distance and locking eyes with the suspect. His firm posture and prolonged gaze are intended to break through the suspect's defenses. If successful, this shift in momentum could prompt the suspect to reveal incriminating details. All Detective 2 needs to do is outlast the suspect's stare, a psychological battle of endurance that can stretch on for minutes at a time.
I know.
Me and you both know it's no different than when you was a little kid, right? And you reached in that cookie jar and you got caught after your mama told you not to get that cookie. And when she was, did you get a cookie? No. And whenever you tell a lie, you feel bad about it right then. One, with every lie, there's a chance you're going to get caught. And that weighs on you because you know you did something bad. Am I right?
I didn't do it.
You didn't take the cookie?
No.
You smell like you've been cleaning up, like you've been using cleaner to clean up. I know what that smells like. My wife smells like that all the time when she cleans the house. You've been using some kind of cleaner to clean up your apartment, hadn't you?
No.
Steven, you telling me you live it like a maid? How does your apartment get cleaned?
I clean it.
When was the last time you cleaned it, Steven?
I don't remember.
Was it this week?
No.
You mean you go a whole week without cleaning?
Yes.
Why? That's horrible, Steven. I don't know how else to say it, Steven. Let me tell you what I think. I think that she was a friend of yours. Look at her right here. I think that she was a friend of yours. And I think something happened, Steven. You used to watch her come in and out of her apartment, didn't you?
No.
Well, how y'all doing?
We're just talking. See that pretty girl right there?
Yes.
You telling me you looked at a pretty girl like that and you never once thought, ever, man, she looks good. You never thought that?
I don't understand.
What do you mean you don't understand? You know how when you're sitting there you see a girl walking down the road and you say, man, that girl looks good. You ever see a good looking girl down the road and you think to yourself, man, that girl looks good?
Yes.
You never thought that about her?
Yes.
So you mean to tell me you look at porn on the internet and get off to that, but you never looked at her and said, man, I wonder what it'd be like to have sex with her?
Yes.
You have?
No.
Steven, this is hard, buddy. I know this is hard. And I can tell it's on you. You want to let it go. There's blood in your apartment, Steven. You didn't get it all up.
This is a well-known futility technique, designed to make the subject believe that resisting is pointless due to the overwhelming evidence stacked against them. It's most effective when the interrogator can tap into the doubts already present in the subject's mind. However, the issue here is that Steven didn't dismember Lauren in his own apartment. It all took place in Lauren's apartment. As a result, the detective's bluff has already been called.
It didn't all come off. You scrubbed and you wiped. But we can tell that. Don't you watch CSI? Yeah, we know it. Steven, why is there blood in your bathroom?
The detective now completely changes his strategy, moving from a confrontational and aggressive stance to one that is sympathetic and understanding. He tries to establish a connection with Steven and offer him a more socially acceptable rationale for his actions. This approach is particularly challenging after a direct confrontation, as there is no existing rapport or trust between them. Typically, the process is the reverse. One would first build rapport before escalating to aggression once a connection has been established.
I wanted to give you an opportunity to tell it. I wanted to be here with you to go through that process because I know you're not a monster, man. I know you're not a bad guy. You're just a hard-working student trying to pass a bar exam, ain't you? You ain't got a lot of support from your family, do you?
Yes.
The strategy falters at the first hurdle, as Stephen immediately shuts down the offered sympathy and rationale behind the alleged crime, which centered on the notion of unsupportive parents. Nevertheless, the detective tries to adapt to the situation and keep the conversation moving forward.
A lot of people can't say that. And the fact that you do have support from your family should make things easier, because your family wants to feel like they've raised somebody that tells the truth and is honest, right?
Yes.
Did you hurt that girl, Stephen?
No.
Have you ever hurt anyone, Stephen?
No.
You've never hurt anyone.
No.
I've hurt people, Stephen. I've made mistakes in my life. It's not even normal to say you've never hurt anybody. Sometimes people get mad and they say things they don't mean to say. It hurts. You never kicked a dog or a cat?
The lead detective proceeds to ask non-confrontational questions for nearly 30 minutes, likely hoping to see if this approach will alter the suspect's demeanor or the way he responds. However, Stephen remains unchanged, maintaining the same lifeless disposition that he has kept up for almost 90 minutes.
You know what's crazy? I was talking to people that he works with and everything. They talk about how he's always expresses himself.
But he don't know.
He's very talkative. Stephen, they say you're so talkative, buddy, that you're always so friendly. You stop in and say hello, and you talk. Why is it that you're acting so short with us tonight? If you have all this character and personality about you, why is it that everything that we get from you is yes, no, or I don't know?
I don't know.
Why are you acting like this, Stephen? You see how I'm able to talk in complete sentences? Like we're having a conversation, but the only thing you're bringing to the table is a yes, no, or I don't know. Stephen, did you hurt that girl?
No.
Would you tell me if you did?
Yes.
Have you lied to me at all in this interview?
No.
Yes, you have, Stephen. When was the last time you did laundry?
A few weeks ago.
You ain't washed clothes in a few weeks?
Yeah.
Why?
I have a lot of clothes.
No, you don't. That's another lie. You don't have a lot of clothes.
Yes, I do.
Nope. You got enough underwear to last you 3 weeks?
Yes.
Do you wear the same pair of underwear more than one day?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's still clean enough to wear.
Where's that little girl, Stephen?
I don't know.
Stephen, you know. You're going to look at this right here, this little girl right here, and you're going to say you don't know? I know you know.
I don't know.
Yes, you know. What are you going to say tomorrow when I say we got your hair? What are you going to say to me then? Because you know, like I go like that. Look at my hair. That's how easy it falls out. Look at all that on your head. You don't think none fell out? It did.
As we know, Stephen entered Lauren's apartment with her friends 3 days after she had already passed away. This would explain the presence of his DNA at the scene, essentially rendering it ineffective as damning evidence. Given that Stephen is a law student, he would be well aware of this fact.
We just wanted to give you an opportunity to tell it, so you didn't look like a monster at the end. Because you know what? I don't believe that you're a monster, Stephen. I believe that you're a good guy. You've been picked on. Girls didn't show you the respect that you deserved. You did something stupid. And I believe you feel bad about it. And that's why you're all freaked out right now. But I'm giving you the opportunity to get right. I'm giving you an opportunity to show everybody you're not a monster. That you feel bad about what happened. Your hair's there, man. Your hair is there. That's right, buddy. See that? Look at it. See how easy? See this stuff right here, your hair? Yeah, it fell out of your head when you was moving the body, Stephen. That's right. Do you remember moving the body?
No.
Yes, you do, Stephen. Why, man? Why? Tell me, bud.
I didn't do it.
Yes, you did, Stephen. We want you to tell it so that way people understand you're not a monster. Things just, you got out of control. It's a sickness. Why'd you do it, Stephen?
I didn't do it.
Stephen, why are you going to keep telling that? You hurt that girl.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did, Stephen. You hurt her, man. She was screaming. Screaming, Stephen. Why? And I know you feel bad about it. I can see it in your face. What came over you, man? What happened, Stephen?
I don't know.
I know you don't know. You couldn't control it, could you?
I didn't do it.
Stephen! They steal your hair and take it over there? They didn't, did they? That's right. It's all sinking in right now. He knows, is what you're thinking. Stephen, I don't want it to be a game between me and you. I know it hurts, and I know you're not an awful person and you want to tell it. Your hair was there, Stephen. We've all known it all along. We wanted just to give you an opportunity to tell what happened. Did y'all have sex?
No.
Did you try to have sex?
No.
You think about having sex?
No.
Liar. What kind of man doesn't think about having sex? You said earlier you like girls, right?
Yes.
You said she's a pretty girl, right?
Yes.
What'd you do to her, Stephen?
I didn't do anything.
You're lying. You hurt that girl.
No, I didn't.
Sure it did, and that's why you're having this massive meltdown right now.
The detective repeatedly states, "You hurt that girl," to which Stephen consistently replies, "No, I didn't." This exchange continues for nearly 20 minutes. Perhaps the detective's strategy was to induce mental exhaustion, but it proves to be entirely ineffective.
Why did you hurt that girl?
I didn't.
Why'd you hurt her, Stephen?
I didn't.
You hurt her, Stephen.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. I'm gonna take this from me. You don't deserve to look at it. Just stay right here, okay?
Okay.
I appreciate all your cooperation tonight, okay?
Okay.
Alright, we're getting ready to go. I just need to discuss a few more things with you.
The lead detective now abandons the pursuit of any admission and instead focuses on belittling and humiliating the suspect as much as possible. While this may serve a tactical purpose, it is more likely driven by frustration, given the detective's certainty about the suspect's culpability.
I know earlier today you told me you stayed home all weekend, right? In your apartment.
Yes.
Did anybody see you? Did you talk to anybody over the weekend? Were you on your computer all weekend? Is there anything I can look at that I can say he couldn't be involved because he was on the computer, or he was online on a porn site, or he was online doing college work, or anything that would exclude you as being involved altogether? I mean, did anybody see you this weekend at the house? Did you go out to get a newspaper? Did you wave to a neighbor, or you just locked yourself in all week?
Yes.
Nobody saw you?
No.
I mean, what do you just stay in the house all day?
Yes.
I mean, what do you do all day in the house? I mean, you've always done that your whole life? You don't have no friends?
I have
How can you go your whole life without a friend?
I have friends.
Where they at? Where they at? You have any friends here in Macon?
Yes.
Name one, because everybody I talked to said they ain't your friend.
Brian Granger, Cass Lawson, Ashley Morehouse, Carmen Love.
That's the same people I talked to today, and they're not your friend.
One of the reasons interrogations are so captivating is the ethical vacuum they create for everyone involved. In any other context, the detective's behavior in this situation would be deemed cruel and reprehensible, as he is essentially bullying the suspect. However, the empathy we would typically feel is overshadowed by a sense of retribution. We know this individual has committed something horrific, and the treatment he is now enduring seems justified by his own actions.
They're not your friend. I mean, it's all over anyways. I just want to know what was going on tonight. The game's over. I mean, we know what you did to her, so we just want to know if you were going to tell us or not.
I didn't do anything.
Well, that's what you say. But we know different, so you're fucked either way. You're fucked. We already know. We know you killed her. We know you put her body in the trash can. The news media knows it. Glenda knows it, your mother. Your sister knows it. Your sister's husband knows it. The one that used to beat your sister, he knows it. You know what he said? He said he's a crazy motherfucker, is what he said when I called him. That's your own family calling you crazy. Nobody wants to see you. Nobody's coming to visit you. So you can sit there with that dumb look on your face, but it's over.
The entire interrogation took over 2 hours when speed up by 20,000%. You truly get a glimpse of how remarkable the suspect's catatonic performance was. His mother came to speak with him shortly after this moment, and although he maintained his innocence, he abruptly shed the zombie-like persona he had adopted. It's hard to determine the reasoning behind this performance, whether it was a pre-planned strategy, an improvisation in the moment, or a form of psychological breakdown is unclear. However, it evidently had an impact, as the interrogators were left with nothing to work with. Stephen's behavior was so abnormal that they found themselves at a loss regarding their next step. The evidence against him, however, was irrefutable. Hundreds of pictures of Lauren were discovered on Stephen's flash drive, along with multiple video recordings taken inside her apartment. A hacksaw was found in a supply closet of the apartment complex, stained red with what was later confirmed to be Lauren's blood. DNA testing also revealed the packaging for that very hacksaw in Stephen's apartment. Faced with this overwhelming evidence, he ultimately accepted a plea deal to avoid the death penalty and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He is currently incarcerated at the high-security Hancock State Prison in Sparta, Georgia.